Hi there, everybody. Welcome back. I have been currently in the middle of getting new braces and completely no lifing edition 33. So I apologize for the pause on the videos for a little bit as I had to get used to all of this, and then I felt like I was getting a little bit sick. But I'm back, and I actually was able to get my hand on a FiFine microphone. Now, the thing is that I'm also using a FiFine amplifier. So I got the amplifier because I was planning to do a dual streaming setup, but honestly, it did not work out with the FiFine amp that I had, and the setup a little bit more complicated because I had a laptop that I wanted to try to dual stream from, and the whole reason why I wanted to do it was because I wanted to do some more. It didn't work out. So instead, I got a more hefty graphics card, and it's great. It works pretty well. But either way, I want to show you guys the FiFine AM8 dynamic microphone that you can use. We're gonna test it out. So hope you guys like it. Alright, so here's the mic. It isn't too bad. I mean, as of right now, I think it's picking up the voice pretty well. I am routing it just with the XLR, so you don't really see all the fun colors, unfortunately. That is something that I wish that it did have. But let's test this out. Alright, and to be able to test it out, I'm going to be reading off some copy pastas this time, rather than singing a verse on Epic. Crazy? I was crazy once. They put me in a room. A rubber room with rats. They put me in a rubber room with rats. Rubber rats. I hate rubber rats. They make me crazy. I was crazy once. They put me in a rubber room with rats. They put me. Okay, so that's that. But I think it's hilarious. Let's see. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. Not a Jedi story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful, the only thing he was afraid of was losing his power. Eventually, of course, unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his... Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. Bravo. Alright, so there's that. Now let's try doing it with something else to be able to see how, or like with the USB connection, see if it changes anything. Okay, we're doing test number 2. However, I feel like it's not necessarily picking up this microphone, because when I adjust the dials, it's not being super responsive with that. So if I press this side, make sure that it's muted somehow, because I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be able to mute it and then it turns off, but I don't see that happening here. And if you guys can hear my voice, it's not necessarily the most reactive either, and you might hear it a little bit different. Okay, so now I have it set back. I have both of them plugged in. I don't really see much change with the gain. Well, actually, now I see a little bit. Still feel like it doesn't change too much. You kind of get one setting, and then that one setting is pretty much this. Maybe there's something that I'm missing in the process, but I don't believe so. I'm gonna do some quick double checking just to be able to see if I'm doing something wrong. I just tried to, but I don't see that my mic even appears. I see it as the microphone FiFine, but other than that, there's not really much to change. I'm gonna try doing, because right now I'm using FiFine audio interface, but it doesn't. If I turn it down, looks like it works the best when it comes down to the microphone or the audio engine. Exactly how it should work, right? It's being with an XLR, but not if it's connected by just the USB. I'll put this down a little bit and it looks adjusted for that. I'm a little bit more quiet. Okay, let's try using a right how that affects. All right, so after trying to play with the USB cable, I'm not getting it to appear on my side, and the gain controls here on the bottom. I've basically done nothing for, but however, I am not giving up because it just might be that my computer is weird. So I will be connecting this to my girlfriend's computer and seeing how that ends up working in our favor, or if it just doesn't work out. We'll try that out. Okay, here I am using the mic on my girlfriend's PC. This is on 100% gain. This is about what you would be expecting. I have a fan in the background and I don't think it could be heard, and so you can see I'm looking at audio waves right here because I didn't want to download a whole software, but you might be seeing some other type of gameplay and such. If I walk away, if I'm over here, it does still tend to catch my voice, at least a little bit. It's a little bit it does kind of echo a little bit. I remember doing plates in the kitchen and we were testing out this mic, and it did have a little bit of background noise when it's loud, but for the most part it keeps things pretty concise, and I would still recommend it. The thing is that in where this computer is at is in the living room, and so it's kind of more of an open space anyways, so more noise will pick up if you're going to be in one of those types of living spaces. So just thought I would share that with you guys. So I still would recommend it as a beginner mic. My other thoughts on this, I did have some other thoughts, and I will go ahead and switch back to my other mic to be able to do it, because now this mic lives here. I'm gonna let my girlfriend use it because she did not have a good mic. She only has the wireless headset mic, and we don't want to sound like we're in an Arby's, right? Also, everything else works pretty okay. The mute mic button also works. So there's just some things that I had different configurations on my PC. That's mostly why it didn't work on my end, but I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. First off, I do want to give out my impressions. Now that we actually got the footage, the unboxing done, and a little bit of finicking, I'm actually going to go back. Let's talk about this, right? So this is a FiFine microphone. It's the AM8 dynamic microphone, and FiFine was nice enough to be able to help me out, and I'm doing this review for them. They sent me this and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I would love to do a review on your mic. And there was no descriptions, nothing that said oh, you have to do this or that. It was just give us your honest feedback, right? And so I'm doing just that. So without further ado, let's get into it. So what I think about this microphone is it's actually not bad. The very first thing that you want to know about is when it comes down to sound quality, right? And as you can hear this, right, I feel like I actually get surprisingly solid clarity. It's not terrible. I think that you can kind of see that there's a little bit of noise control that kind of happens with it. It's a little bit of process power. And I went into a voice chat with a friend with Epsilon Lost, and he was saying that, yeah, I can kind of hear that, but it does a really good job about not picking up my keyboard. So if I do this, you might be able to hear it maybe just a little bit, but not enough that where you can hear it at all, right? I think it isolates your voice very well, but overall it's not terrible. I think if you're a little bit soft-spoken, it might struggle a little bit just because the density of the foam, and you really do want to be as close to this mic as you can. I think they recommend about 2 to 6. So if you're just about that point, I think it actually works really well. So it's not terrible. I don't think it's bad at all. Now, as far as the build quality of this is, it's mostly made through aluminum. This, regular shell, the hinges here are also made out of aluminum. You can kind of feel even the buttons are a little bit aluminum, but the back here is kind of made through a plastic, and the actual microphone part right here, the piece, made through aluminum as well. The foam here is a very nice thick foam. Too bad it actually feels really nice to touch. It's actually kind of nice overall. I really do like the foam. I think it looks nice. It's kind of pretty. Like it kind of completes it. At just like a personal preference. I think it's just like soft and clean. The buttons are responsive, but another thing that I found while I was looking at the videos just a little bit was that you can kind of hear the noise on the mic if you're kind of like messing with the stuff here. So you kind of hear like a little bit of clunkiness here and there. You kind of see a little bit of lighting. So there we go. So you might be able to hear that little bit of clunkiness, but you can see right here it has a couple of LED features. It's really nice. Nothing too intense. There's not really a software for it. There's not really a way to be able to design it how you want, but it is nice. I think it's like, for what it is, we're clearly focused more on the sound more than anything, and that's what I think a good mic should do. I don't think a mic necessarily needs to be the most flashy. It's a little bit blocky in design, it's kind of like chunky. I think overall it's not a bad aesthetic. I think it actually looks quite well. The buttons are very responsive. I haven't been able to test out the mute and such just quite yet, but like I said previously, I am going to go test this out on a different computer and see if I can just plug and play, see if it works there. I might even also be able to do it on the PS5, but we'll see. But overall, this hasn't been that difficult to set up either. Like when it came down to the unboxing, you probably saw just the cable, base stand, and screw it on, and it's ready to go. And not a lot of complicated details. You're not going to really need a lot of things. Except for me, I use an XLR cable just to be able to connect it, and I connect that to my audio interface, and I just went with it. I didn't get to mess with a lot of the gain settings. It's like I have to turn on the gain quite a bit for the XLR to be able to pick it up. So that's kind of a little bit, it's not my favorite, but it's not bad, and I think it worked instantly. And I mean, I'm obviously talking and doing this video right now, and it doesn't sound bad. Overall, I think it's pretty good. The other thing it has is, it does have gain control here. It does have the mute. And at the very bottom it has a headphone 3.5 millimeter audio jack, and you can use that to do some mic monitoring. So if you want to hear you're speaking in real time as it sounds in the mic, then that's how you want to do that. And yeah, this is also compatible with PC, MacBook, or just like Apple devices. Well, mostly Mac, and the PlayStation. Unfortunately, it's only PlayStation 4 and 5, but I didn't see anything that it was compatible with Xbox, unfortunately. The design itself, I got the white one. I think it looks great. I don't think it's bad at all. And overall, like I said, I don't know if I actually said this at the beginning of the video, but this is priced at $54.90. But as of right now, you can get it for 15% for Prime members. So if you have Amazon Prime, you should totally go for it. But honestly, I think this is a great value for an entry position mic. I have really not a lot of quarrels with it, and I wish I had this when I first started streaming instead of my Blue Yeti mic, because the Blue Yeti mic just took everything. It just grabbed all the noise from the room, everywhere else, and that was the most frustrating thing for me. That when you would hear that on stream, you would hear just like garbled audio, and just didn't sound great, But I think overall it sounds clear. Not a lot of background noise, and you could use it for podcasts and streaming, which is mainly what they advertise. And I think that it's not, I think it's great. I think it's overall not too bad. And if you want to use the link in the description to be able to get one of your own, or if you're thinking about somebody and they're starting out streaming, I would honestly get this for them. If it's below $60, it's about the price of a game, which, I have my gripes about that. But, it's not terrible at all. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys can hear this, I think it does sound pretty great. Other than that, I hope you guys liked the video, or I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you comment on the video, and subscribe for more tech reviews and more things about marketing. A little bit late on this video, like I said, I was a little bit busy, got new braces, started with Expedition 33, and I've been hooked on that game ever since. So let me know if you guys are playing that game as well, but I'll see you guys all on the next one.